Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about It Ends from writer-director Alexander Ullom. It's a very low-budget independent film.
Yeah.
Is a good way to put it. This is a film made by a group of friends who literally went out and made a movie, and it kind of feels like that, actually. Like, it has the vibe of a group of friends making a movie.
Yes.
Not the least of which because the movie is about a group of friends. The movie is about a group of friends who end up on a road that seemingly never ends. There's no turns, and going back doesn't help because you just end up at a dead end. And on the road, you don't age, you don't get hungry, you don't sleep, you don't get tired. You seemingly have no physical impulses whatsoever, so all you can do is just keep going. And that's what the movie's about, is these friends dealing with this road. It's kind of like a combination of liminal horror with like the existential horror of a never-ending journey. I'm not exactly sure what category you'd put this in. Liminal horror is the closest thing I got because like the long stretch of road is clearly like the source of this movie's like dread, so to speak, you know? Every time the camera pans to that road and it just keeps going, you can feel the dread setting in you as the viewer while you're watching it.
Yeah. And they're on this road for like years.
Yes, and they don't tell us how many years, but they tell us how many miles. And by the end of this movie, it's like millions of miles. They've been on this road for a long time. These characters go on individual journeys in this car. There's a lot of philosophical discussion. There's a lot of metaphysical discussion. There's a lot of trying to find meaning in their situation. Are they in purgatory? Are they in hell? Are they dead? Are they ghosts? Is this the never-ending highway of the afterlife?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Is it aliens? Is this some sort of alien fucking like came down, beamed them, and then put them in this weird fucking like simulation? Like, what's going on? The characters are trying to figure it out, and there seems to be no answer so far. Well, at least until you get to the end, and we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that because as the title says, it does end.
It does end.
There is an end to the road, but we will talk about what that is and what that potentially means in the spoiler section. What I took away from this movie is that this movie is about life itself.
Yes.
It is about how sometimes we obsess over certain things in our life, like trying to find meaning.
Yeah.
And through that obsession, we forget to enjoy the journey and the company that we kept on that journey along the way. We essentially miss the forest through the trees.
Yes.
Because the point isn't the destination. The point is the journey itself. That's what I took away from this movie. And I'm sure other people watching the movie might take away other things. What did you take away from this movie?
No, that's exactly what I took away from it.
100%.
You know, like, it's either that or there was no meaning whatsoever. It's just a bunch of stuff that happened.
I get that.
You know?
I get that. Life is a joke, right? It's a punchline. It's one long road to a punchline. Thus is the nature of life. I could see that interpretation too. And actually, I don't feel like those two interpretations are mutually exclusive either. I feel like they can live comfortably with one another.
It's a hard movie to talk about because, like, not a lot happens.
That's true. By the very nature of the movie, it's just driving.
Yeah.
The main thing that happens throughout the movie is occasionally they'll stop and they have about like a minute and a half to explore the woods before they just get accosted by a whole bunch of people, almost like zombies, but not quite like zombies. It's like people that like run straight at them screaming, "Help me," and "Get me out of here." And they all try to steal their car. That's what the zombies are trying to do, but I'm not even sure if calling them zombies is appropriate because they seem to be just people.
Yeah, they're people in a zombie-like state.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to be like, they're not like undead flesh eaters.
Yeah, they're not undead, nor are they like virally infected.
Yeah.
And there is an implication that if any of them stops, they may become one of those people, right? Like if any of them gets out of the car and then stays past those minute 30 and the friends drive away, eventually they're going to be like those people, like, you know, laying in the forest.
Yeah.
That's an implication, but it's never quite proven in the movie, so I can't say that for 100% certainty. So yeah, you have a movie where it's a lot of driving, characters getting into arguments in the car, philosophical discussions, and sometimes just really dumb discussions like what would win, like 1,000 hawks or like 1,000
5
rats.
gorillas.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Like some really dumb, kind of meaningless, like meme discussions. And like the characters trying to entertain themselves on this long journey with stuff like games, like sometimes they do like little therapy sessions where they like just express what's been frustrating them about each other. And sometimes they just get out of the car and dance, you know, because what are they going to do?
What else are they going to do?
They got a minute and 30 seconds. Let's just dance. And that's the whole movie. Like from beginning to end, that's the movie. And so it's a really hard movie to talk about because,
Yeah.
Like I can talk about the characters. We have James, who's kind of like our central character of the group. He's the closest thing to a protagonist the movie has, even though it is an ensemble piece. He's the one who's got everything in his life figured out. He's the guy who's like, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to get this good job, I'm going to kick ass, and then I'm going to settle down, and I'm going to have like a family. It's going to be great.
He's going to buy a house in Washington or something.
Yes, like he's got everything figured out. There's the two other friends whose names escape me. I think one of them's Day and the other one's Fisher.
The other is Fisher, yeah.
Day and Fisher. Day is the most chilled out of them.
Yeah.
Like very calm, very like, hey guys, let's stop fighting. And Fisher is the ADHD one who can't sit still and also can't stop talking.
I forget the name of the other friend.
Tyler,
right.
Tyler is their friend that went off to the military and then came back, and they're kind of reconnecting with him on this road trip. He's interesting because he's the guy who seems to have basically settled for where he is in life more than anyone else. The other two are kind of like in the middle. You have James, who's got everything figured out. He's got this long fucking plan for how his life's going to turn out or whatever. Tyler has just kind of settled with, I went to the military and I guess I'll now get a wife and kids, and that's my life. That's going to be the end of my life. The other two are more in the middle. They went off to college, but now that college is over, they're not quite sure what they want to do. They don't have a huge plan, but they also haven't completely like settled like Tyler has. And I'm mentioning this because this is actually an important element of the movie, because I honestly feel like these characters' stories and where they are in their life actually reflects how they turn out in this journey.
Yes.
How this journey plays out in the first place, which we'll talk more about in the spoiler section. But I do feel like those details are important. I gotta be honest, when I first watched this movie, I fucking hated James at the beginning. Over the course of the movie, I grew to like James a lot more. Because the thing about James is that he is the most practical, but he's also the most susceptible to magical thinking.
Yeah.
So he's the most practical in that when shit hits the fan, he's like, okay, well, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. But he's also the one who's just like, wait, the fact that it rained today and it didn't rain yesterday, does that mean that like we did something right? We've solved the puzzle, we've fixed the game or whatever. Whereas Tyler is just like, none of it matters. We're stuck here no matter what.
Yeah.
This, like, nothing we do is going to affect this. We are stuck on this road and it is never going to end. And this isn't a puzzle that we can solve. And then you have the other two who just don't want to think about it. They kind of want to distract themselves from it. So they're the ones who will primarily like engage with the games and the dancing and whatnot and just try to like enjoy the ride, but not really think too hard about why they're there or what's going to happen when they reach the end, if they ever reach the end.
Right.
So at the beginning, I kind of liked them, and then I didn't like James. As the movie went on, I grew to like most of them, to be completely honest.
Yeah. You grew to like them like fairly quickly.
You know, you kind of bond with them as their friendships like grow a little bit on this journey, but also like kind of break apart because of this journey, which in a way kind of reflects their own lives and how in their own lives they all kind of separated and reconnected on this journey, you know? Man, it is a really difficult movie to talk about.
Yeah.
The more I'm trying to talk about it. The thing I will say about this movie is I actually think this movie is really good. I give it like a 2 thumbs up. It is a very, very good movie. It is not a movie you go to watch a bunch of jump scares.
Oh, no.
It is not a movie that is going to leave you like haunted. It is not a movie that is going to get under your skin. It is a movie that is going to leave you thinking about life. It's a thinker movie, is a good way to put it. So I highly recommend It Ends. It recently was put on Letterboxd to rent like last year, but then it got pulled when Neon bought it because they wanted to put it into theaters. So it will be in theaters this next weekend. Go check it out. If anything we've said so far has enticed you, I highly recommend this movie. In fact, I might go see it in theaters, even though I've already seen it twice from renting it. So It Ends. Currently in theaters. Enjoy, and let's move on to the spoilers because that's really where there is stuff to talk about. So here we go.
And as the title says, it does end.
Yes. But before we get to the end, let me explain what happens to these characters in this movie. Because one of the conceits of this movie is every once in a while, the movie will cut to a title card. And the title card will have a name of a character and a mileage. And what this title card is the moment they got off the car.
Yeah.
The moment they
get off the road.
Yes. Seemingly the moment they give up on the journey. And the first character to do that is Tyler, which very much matches with where he is in life. He's the one who's already ready to settle.
He's already ready to settle, but more than that, despite his outward coolness, he is not willing to put in a lot of effort to a lot of things.
No, which is established in the conversation where he talks about this girl that he broke up with. And he broke up with her because he didn't want to have to drive 3 hours to go pick pumpkins with her, which is like a basic, like, relationship thing.
Yeah, it's a basic relationship thing. And if you're talking about marrying and settling and having kids, then what's the fuck is 3 hours?
Yeah. Who the fuck cares about a 3-hour drive if you're willing to like marry this woman?
Yeah,
clearly you weren't that invested. And so that's why when a character says that Tyler gave up, I actually think they're pretty much like right on the money.
Oh yeah.
Tyler didn't just give up on the road. He gave up long ago. He did the military thing. He never got shipped off, but he did his military service. And then after that, he just basically gave up. He's not anywhere close to where these other characters are, where they're still kind of on this journey. He got off the road way before any of them. In fact, before the movie began, he basically got off the road.
He was done way before.
The next title card we see is for Day and Fisher. And those two get off at the same time, essentially. But theirs is a little bit different because they try to convince James to give up.
Yeah.
They try to convince James to because they see how much his obsession with finding meaning and finding the end is kind of ruining his ability to connect with his friends. Because it's one of those, if you're going to be on this road, then you might as well take your moments of joy. And he's clearly not.
Yeah.
He is like refusing to partake in any of the moments of joy with the other characters. So to a certain extent, they're right. He is overly obsessing with this thing and it is tearing him apart. And that actually becomes part of his journey, is realizing that they were kind of right in that regard. But these two get off the road because they realize what it's doing to James and they decide they don't want that to happen to them. So they get off much further down the road than Tyler did. But it kind of reflects the fact that they both went to college and don't necessarily know what they want to do. Like they haven't figured out the puzzle of the future for them yet. Whereas James is dead set. He's got to get to the end of this road. He's got to see for himself the wretched truth.
Yeah.
You know? And along the way, even when he's by himself, you see how much this whole road thing drives him insane because he starts like writing like numerical equations and trying to keep track every time he sees like an anomaly like rain or like a different car or a different tree or something.
Yeah.
All over the car. So the car's just covered in his like insane scribblings. And he does eventually reach the end of the road, which is signified by a sign.
Yeah. He gets to the end of the road where there's a sign that says road ends.
Yep.
And that's it.
And a bunch of abandoned cars at the end of this road.
Yeah.
He gets out of the car. He sits there, he stares at that fucking sign for like a couple days. They even show you like the day to night.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, in this road, you cannot sleep. So he's awake the entire time, just staring at that fucking road. He goes back to his car and he screams, which is actually one of the things that his friends were doing.
Yeah.
They would have these like little scream sessions to just get their emotions out. And he would refuse to partake in that. And so he finally does it. He finally screams. And after screaming, he sits down and throughout this journey, they've had a couple items in the car that they have not wanted to lose because he's considered them like the original items.
Yeah.
The things they entered this journey with, they entered the road with. So he didn't want anybody to eat the Cliff Bar.
Yeah, he didn't want anyone to eat the Cliff Bar. And to be fair, no one needed to.
No one needed to because no one was hungry. But he was also worried that because they weren't aging and they weren't getting hungry and they weren't getting sleepy, that maybe eating the Cliff Bar would just leave the Cliff Bar in your stomach to digest forever or something. Because he didn't know. He didn't know if they were in like a time loop or something like that or some sort of like freeze state. So he finally eats the Cliff Bar and it's just like, it tastes so good. It's like for the first time in like millions of miles, because mind you, it's been at least 1,000,000 miles since he left his other two friends. And for the first time in millions of miles, he actually feels something, you know? And so he eats it and he tastes it and he feels it and he screams and, you know, he lets out that emotion. And then he has this moment. He's just like, all right, I'll go pick you up. And he gets in the car, turns around and goes back the other way on the road, finds one of the forest people, pulls them into the car, asking them who would win the fight.
Yeah. 100 gorillas or 1,000 hawks.
Yes.
You know, or something like that.
And the person he drags into the car is in this kind of like dazed stupor, like all the people are for the first minute, 30 seconds. And after he asks this question and they're on the road for a minute, the guy just kind of turns to him and goes like, how many hawks? And then like...
Yeah.
And this is basically where the movie ends. So James has realized that those stupid things, the things that he was mocking in his friends, like the stupid little questions, and the screaming and the dancing or whatever, those are the things that are actually worthwhile. Those are the human experience that he was denying himself because he needed to find meaning. You can almost see it as like a allegory for like religious thinking, you know?
Yeah. It's an allegory in many ways for like religious thinking or the quest for enlightenment. You know,
or even not religious thinking, just the whole idea of like, you know, like in America, we have the American dream, right?
Yeah.
You know, like you're going to go to college, you're going to get a wife, you're going to have kids and a picket fence. And it's this like mythology. And if you're obsessed over that, you might actually miss all the good things.
All the other
way.
Things that are happening.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and he's very much the guy who got caught up in all of that, the magical thinking. He got caught up in the mythology, and he just realizes when he reaches the end of the road, there is nothing there but the end of the road, and that maybe he should go back and enjoy the journey. At least that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah, that was my interpretation as well.
You know? And my assumption is that he's going to try to go back to find his other friends. I don't know if he'll be able to, but my assumption is...
Well, yeah, the assumption is that he's going to try.
Yeah. I actually do find this movie kind of beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Because that message at the end, that journey, that lesson he went on, I feel like that's something that, like, I gotta remind myself, you know?
Yeah, well, the way the movie was written was actually really clever because about halfway through the movie, if you're kind of keyed into storytelling, you're like, there's no way they can come up with a satisfactory answer for where this fucking road goes.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing you can show us.
You can show us.
That's going to satisfy our imaginations, right?
Yeah. Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. So how do you end the story?
Yeah.
And what's something that totally makes sense to be there, but you would never think of? Just road ends.
Yep.
Just
well, it's also
done.
It's an anticlimax.
Yeah, it's an anticlimax.
But it's an anticlimax by design because the whole point is that in life it is an anticlimax.
It is, yeah.
Like when you eventually go, it's probably not going to be this triumphant epic thing.
No. It's like, what was it? Was it Norm Macdonald who said like, it's a series of horrible things that end in a calamity.
Yes. And so maybe you shouldn't be so focused on that.
Yeah.
And you should enjoy the journey. You know, if that means dancing with your friends, if that means screaming, if that means eating the fucking Cliff Bar, just so you can feel something, maybe that's worth it.
Yeah.
So it ends. This is a movie that I think is phenomenal. It is a very low budget movie though. Like it's so low budget that like you could tell that in some of the car scenes that they're in like a car in like a garage with like a projector.
Yes.
Projecting the fucking like trees in the background. And there's a couple times in the movie where I noticed the projector glitch a little bit. I don't know if that was like a weird frame rate issue with the copy we were watching or whatnot, but I noticed that and I'm like, okay, like this is clearly a movie made on a shoestring budget. It's like Obsession earlier this year. This movie was made for nothing and they made the most with what they got.
They did a lot with it.
So check out It Ends, and y'all know me. I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on various social media platforms, but these days I primarily use Blue Sky, so follow me on there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages, and remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way, but we will certainly accept more. And with that said, my fellow gorehounds, I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below with the hashtag 100Hawks. Use the hashtag 100Hawks, that way I know, that way Jack knows, that way the whole world knows that you know that the Hawks have air superiority, which is very important. Just saying.
Yeah.
And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, peace out, and we'll catch y'all later.